Get ready to die goes for not only AJ Francis when he's leaping over the top rope, but also TNA as a whole, because honestly, since it came back in 2024, I've not been impressed. Welcome back, guys. Dave Fog Wrestling for your TNA Impact review for the 15th of February 2024. We're just a day after Valentine's Day, and I have no love for this show, unfortunately. Now, there was a moment that I thought was great. I love Joe Hendry. I think the guy's very entertaining. He's got this gimmick where he does like parody, kind of like rap videos. He just mocks people, takes the piss out of them by producing these music videos. And while they're very entertaining, they're also a little bit campy. They're not very professional. I think it's something that could only work in a company like TNA. I couldn't imagine Joe Hendry doing this in WWE or even doing this in AEW. But anyway, it was the best part of the show. Unfortunately, the guy's always going to be like an indie guy to me. I mean, you just can't go with this level of production. You can't go to WWE. Look at what WWE's doing. Look at when they're going into Mania. Are they going to have Joe Hendry and his fucking homemade camcorder? I mean, absolutely not. But Hendry was very entertaining tonight. We'll talk about him more when we get to that part of the show, really. But for me, TNA, not a lot's happened since it got rebirthed. I mean, the same storylines are happening. Mustafa Ali's cutting the same promos. It's like one of those TV shows where you'll get like 3 or 4 episodes and they're just filler episodes. It's like the story advances at a really, really slow pace. And unfortunately, that's TNA. Not just TNA, to be honest. It's wrestling in general. In 2024, everything is just so slow, boring, and drawn out. But anyway, let's get into the show. Match number 1, Frankie Kazarian versus Jake something. Give me a reason to care for this match. Seriously, I don't have any. Kazarian wins. He got the pin using the ropes again. What can I say? Eric Young watched on backstage. Nothing happened here, man. What is happening? Yeah, Kazarian gets the win. A couple weeks ago, he attacked Eric Young. Where's this feud going? When's it advancing? What's the next step? We don't get nothing, okay? It was crap. It was crap. I think he said he was going to challenge him next week, man to man. But I mean, that's next week. Who cares about next week? Who cares about this week? I swear. You look back at the Attitude Era. Everything was so fast-paced. Look at the amount of segments they got through every night. And look at stories like Austin and McMahon, for example. Look how many different segments they would appear in throughout the night. Look how quickly the Austin-McMahon rivalry would advance throughout each Raw. I mean, you'd literally maybe see Austin and McMahon 3, 4, 5 times every single week. Today in wrestling, everybody is just one and done. The story barely advances. It, like, honest to God, they stretch out something that should happen within maybe 2 weeks, and every company does this. You've got like 2 weeks worth of content, but they'll stretch it out for 3 or 4 months. It's fucking embarrassing. But anyway, up next, Jordynne Grace versus Savannah Evans. Jordynne Grace wins. After the match, Giselle comes in, hits Jordan with the X. Then she hits Savannah with the X. And I'm talking about the X that she won, the Ultimate X, not the XY chromosomes. But yeah, she hit a bunch of people with the X, and I don't really care. We then got Gia Miller backstage for an interview with Ash by Elegance, but we had George Iceman instead. So I guess he's going to be Ash. He's Ash's manager. And he tells Gia Miller basically to go away because Ash by Elegance is a lot more beautiful than you, so you don't want to be in the same shot. But the crazy thing is this, she actually isn't. I mean, this Gia Miller, this interviewer, is way better looking than Ash by Elegance, and I just cannot take this gimmick properly. They're trying to have her be like some sort of, perfectionist, some sort of like beauty. She's elegant, she's beautiful, she's the greatest thing to look at, and she's just not. I mean, at the end of the day, it's fucking Dana Brooke in a dress. I mean, what more can we say? We can't really say anything. This gimmick doesn't work. If they're wanting to do this, then you actually need to get someone who's hotter than the rest of the women. And unfortunately, I mean, Dana Brooke just isn't it. But I mean, the guy seems okay. George Iceman, he cut a decent wee promo. He seems like he's got a little bit of charisma. He was energetic, but again, Ash by Elegance, it's Dana Brooke. It's a jobber in WWE, and unfortunately, it's going to be a jobber in TNA. We then got Simon Gotch. He sat down with Alan Angles for a talk show sound check. This was not bad. I've no idea who Alan Angles is, but I know who Simon Gotch is. Another jobber for WWE. I think TNA just think if they hire WWE jobbers, then they're going to be okay. Unfortunately, it doesn't work out that way. But he basically put over the fact that the Josh Alexander guy got lucky beating him 5 years ago. Josh Alexander then got a massive push, and it should have been Simon Gotch's push. In the end, Alexander burst into the TV setup and they have a brawl, and that was it. I mean, it wasn't great. Up next, we have ABC versus Grizzled Young Vets. Third match of the night. Grizzled Young Vets win this, then they become tag team champions. It's match number 2 in the series, but ABC win. Just a boring match. I think you knew ABC were going to win. Obviously, they're going to set it up at 1-1. This wasn't going to end 2-0, so yeah, ABC get the victory. But then we got a vignette for Dirty Dango, and he was asking Oleg what his PWI ranking was last year. Felt like Dirty Dango was taking the piss out of Meltzer, which I think is always good, so I enjoyed that. We then got a vignette for Mustafa Ali in a suit, talking about change, talking about being a leader for the X Division. It's the same thing that we've seen for 3, 4, 5 weeks now. Mustafa Ali in a suit, talking, but saying very little. Just not very interesting. Then backstage, Chris Sabin's not happy about this. He attacks some guy wearing a Mustafa Ali shirt. So yeah, and then he got into a shoving match with a couple of wrestlers, no idea who they were. Match number 4, Rhino versus Crazy Steve for the TNA Digital Media Championship. Rhino loses to Crazy Steve. Sloppy match. Stevie pulls out a fork. Fucking stick a fork in it. This one's over. I mean, what? Why is he using a fork? I mean, out of all the weapons, and it wasn't even a no DQ match. Just about random. Guy pulling out a bloody fork. We then got a wee vignette with PCO, who says no surrender. No surrender. So this guy's going to be wrestling. Match number 5 was supposed to be Joe Hendry versus Cody Deaner. Now, Joe Hendry came out. AJ Francis came out from behind and he cut a rap. The rap was fucking terrible, but AJ Francis thought he had bars. Then Joe Hendry was like, I wasn't expecting that. If only I had a backup video, but it turns out he does. Then he does a parody video, and he does it in with AJ Styles' theme song, his old one, Get Ready to Fly, but he kicks it off with Get Ready to Die, and it's AJ Francis. He's got the whole phenomenal. He's doing the whole AJ Styles gimmick with the gloves, and then the whole song was just great. You know, he's ripping the piss at him, paying for women to be on his boat. He's got some guy called Steve. You are banned from diving. It was great. I mean, this was the best thing on the show by far. Gotta love Joe Hendry. Then he got attacked by Deaner and AJ Francis, and then Rich Swann made the save. So that was that. Match number 6, we've got Danny Luna versus Kelly Keller, or Killer Kelly. Danny Luna wins. No idea who this chick is, Danny Luna, but she was victorious over Kelly Kelly. Or why do I keep calling her Kelly Kelly? It's Killer Kelly. I keep trying to say Kelly Kelly. Just the name sounds too familiar. But that was that. We then got the commentators running down the match card for No Surrender. Then it was the main event time. Moose versus Kushida. And Moose defeats Kushida. Obviously, Moose was going to win. The guy is the world champion. He's going to defend his world title next week. He isn't going to lose to, Kushida. And he didn't lose. He won. He hit the spear. 1, 2, 3. After the match, the system came out, attacked Kushida. Then Kushida's friends ran out. They made the save. They attacked the system. Show went off there with them brawling. The system just doesn't make sense to me. Why is Moose hanging around with 2 fucking jobbers and one of the jobbers' wife? It's a weird faction. It just doesn't. It looks out of place. Moose just doesn't look like he belongs with Eddie Edwards and whoever the other guy is. Is it Brian Myers? Either way, I just don't get the whole system gimmick. I don't get the faction. It just seems like they just randomly put 3 guys together. But I mean, whatever. I enjoyed the Joe Hendry thing. I thought that was good. I mean, the interviews are okay in this. I mean, yeah, the segments are not bad. The matches, for me, none of the matches were really that great. But, I mean, it is what it is, guys. I'm going to give TNA a 2 out of 10. Wasn't great. I thought it was okay. Well, okay, probably not. I thought it was it was above abysmal. Okay, it wasn't fucking cut your eyes out because it's so bad. It was watchable. I guess I'll give it that. So there you go, 2 out of 10, guys. Certainly wasn't okay, but it wasn't the worst show I've seen, and it won't be the worst show I've ever seen because most wrestling shows suck. This one kind of did suck, but it wasn't that bad. I'll catch you in the next one. Until then, peace.